Hi there, this is Postdoc Chronicles week number 66, and today we are featuring Super Nintendo Entertainment System or SNES on the Nintendo Switch Online. So this is like one of the highlights of the recently concluded Nintendo Direct. So there have been a lot of leaks saying that SNES is eventually coming out to the Nintendo Switch online subscription because there's been leaks of the patent of the SNES controller that will be coming out for pre-order. And indeed, during that direct, one of their best announcement is they have like 20 SNES games going out like today on the Nintendo Switch. So of course you do need the Nintendo Switch Online. So this is like a subscription service on the Nintendo Switch that allows you to play games that has online connectivity feature. So as long as these games are not free, because other free games that have their own servers, for example Paladins, Warframe, Fortnite, they don't require you online subscription because these things are supposedly free. But other online games like Mario Kart 8, Splatoon 2, and all those stuff, you do need to have an online subscription to be able to play these games online, and of course to enjoy features such as cloud saving, cloud support available on multiple consoles and such. And the nice thing that was included in the original Nintendo Switch subscription last year was that there was a NES games, and they released like three NES games every month. So basically, family computer, and I really love that because I grew up. My first ever console that I own is a Famicom, although the cheap China knockoff one, not the official Famicom or the NES, but still I was able to play these NES games. So it's nice that they are still available on your Nintendo Switch as long as you are still subscribed to the online subscription. And now we have the SNES. So SNES is something that I'm not really familiar. I did not grow up. I grew up with NES, family computer, and PS1. So my friends, when I was growing up, I didn't have my own console other than the Famicom when I was like in high school. So I used to play with friends PS1, but I've never seen anyone own an SNES when I was growing up, at least in my province. So it was usually PS1. So I was not very familiar with games like Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Mega Man, the Mega Man X series, Mega Man 7, the Yoshi's Island, and this stuff, Super Castlevania. So it's nice that 20 of the best representative games came out now with your subscription. And also, even though they did this, even though they have the existing SNES Mini, when they re-released the SNES Mini that also came with its own games, it's like a separate console that you can connect to the TV. Now you don't need it anymore because you have this SNES thing here. And so how the subscription works is you pay basically individually. If you're just like one person for 1 year, you need to pay like $20. So that's like around 1,000 pesos. But the nice thing is there's this thing called a family subscription where eight of you will be part of that family subscription. Eight of you will be subscribed as a group, and instead of paying $20 individually, you only pay $35. So it's a very huge savings. So instead of paying like 1,000 per year, we only pay like 200 plus. So the next thing is I have a group of friends. There are like eight of us that share a single Nintendo account. So now since I have that subscription, I am now enjoying SNES. So SNES is like I mentioned before. I'm not familiar with the SNES game, so the way that I could play them before, when I was already like in college, in like when I was doing my MS, is just via emulator. So when you have like a PC, SNES emulation is usually fine. But like I've mentioned many times before, I'm not really into playing on the PC, and I much prefer playing on a handheld. And SNES is one of those consoles that is notoriously hard to emulate on older handhelds. So, for example, you have emulators, SNES emulator for the PSP, you have SNES emulator for the PS Vita, you have SNES emulator for like the 3DS. So, in fact, the only way that you can play it properly, because in these emulators, PSP and PS Vita, it usually does not run perfectly. So there are like hiccups on the frame rates, there are like glitches on the sound and stuff like that. So it wasn't good. But so the only proper way to play it is if you have a new Nintendo 3DS right here. Okay, so if you have this guy, and of course it has to be new Nintendo 3DS. If you have the older one with a lower processor, then it can't run SNES games at all. So this is a virtual console, so you can, the only official way to play SNES games is if you get it via the virtual console. The thing that I don't like about this is I'm not fond of playing a single screen game on a two screen. You know, it's for me personally, it's distracting. You know, like one screen is not used at all. Of course, you do use it when you like tap it, and then you have some other options here at the bottom screen. But while you're playing, it's just on top, and for me, I find it distracting. So it's nice that now. So this is Super Mario World. So now it's nice. Let me get it quickly on the Nintendo Switch. It's nice now that you have the option to play Super Mario World. Uh, Let me mute the TV. Okay, so it's really nice that you have the option to play that on your Switch and also on the big screen for free if you have the subscription. Okay, so that's it right there. But yeah, anyway, so enough with that. Let's go to my Postdoc Chronicles. So going first, so like I said before, we're still waiting for the review of our revision. It's again our revision of the paper that we submitted in Physics Letters B is still under review. So the revision is also under review. So we'll wait for that as well. On the MUED side, so like I mentioned before, I was able to create the correct PT spectrum of the model, the MUED model that we had when we were using our setup, but I'm seeing very little uncertainty in the power and wimpy setting as opposed to when I used it when as opposed to when I used the compressed SUSI model. So the uncertainty was very obvious. So in our spectrum file, we have a very complicated, mass decay chain. So what Roberto suggested me to do, asked me to do is try to tweak or sort of cheat the spectrum file such that instead of having a complicated decay chain, our we would have a one step decay from the NLSP, then the next lightest supersymmetric particle, to the LSP. So I'm doing that right now. I'm still figuring out which of the numbers are our LSP and NLSP, and also how in our setup how the spectrum file is being fed to CalcHep, and then how the template is being that, because template is a MadGraph one, so how it is being fed inside the programs. I'm still looking into that. On the Daihigs project, so just today, I still have not done so, because in our Daihigs project currently we are doing some multivariate analysis, but I'm still yet to read the root tutorial on how it is being implemented in the root. So I was not able to do that because Subhadip was also doing that. He was also reading up on some tutorials on multivariate analysis, and I told him that one of these days I'm also gonna study the tutorial so that I'll understand what's going on so far. So now he already gave me some files that I could run in root. So now I need to go back to the Daihigs and read up on that MVA tutorial so that I'll understand what's going on. So that's for the Daihigs. And so after that, if I'm able to understand the tutorial, then we should be able to apply that on our signal and background, and then hopefully improve it further. Okay, and some other report that I'd like to add is the Philippines, the people from the Philippines, our institute, National Institute of Physics, just talked with my supervisor, Deepak, and they also really wanted, aside from the plans to join the CMS collaboration, they also wanted to, since I'm already here, I'm already under a person that is already part of ATLAS, then they also want to pursue that ATLAS as well. So they also want to join, if it would be possible to join ATLAS. So Deepak, very quickly manage some stuff right away. And so what happens is I will now be officially part of the SA Atlas subgroup in Witwatersrand, because currently I'm under theory, but technically I'm not really doing theory. I'm more, during my first year I'm doing more phenomenology stuff. But right now I will be officially under the Atlas umbrella or subgroup of WITS. And then what will happen is there's a possibility that I might extend my postdoc under Deepak, because again the reason is my initial postdoc contract lasts 2 years, and then first majority of that 2 years we never did Atlas physics. We only did phenomenology because initially Deepak thought, why would I learn Atlas stuff when I go back to the Philippines? Philippines is not part of Atlas in the first place. So, and again, we had the impression that Philippines, our government can't afford to pay the requirement to be part of the an experimental collaboration in CERN. But now that we know that they are interested, then yeah, they wanted to push that. So Deepak now is processing for me to be part of the Atlas subgroup in Witwatersrand, and also this October, if everything, if I can process everything on time, then I'll also going back to CERN once again. This time to join the Atlas. There's this thing called the Atlas Induction Day where they welcome new members, and then there's like a 1 week tutorial regarding the tools that are used within the Atlas collaboration, because again, CMS and Atlas, even though they're doing exactly the same thing in the end, the tools that they're using, the softwares that you're using in house, Atlas and CMS, they differ according to Deepak. So it would be nice if I'll have that overview if I join that induction day. So it will be like last week of October. So I'm going back to Geneva, Switzerland. So currently I'm now processing the funding and again my visa. So one of the worst things if you have a less powerful passport like me from the Philippines is that every time you go to some other country, you have to process some visa. So it's a for me personally it's a hassle. That's why I don't love traveling a lot. I hate processing these papers. But anyway, so it's for the it's for the betterment of the of our National Institute of Physics in the Philippines. So I have to do it. I need to go to CERN and be part of this induction day. But anyway, that's it for my Postdoc Chronicles update for week number 66. I'll see you next time for next Postdoc Chronicles. Tomorrow, September 20th, is very crazy because there are a lot of like heavy Switch games that are coming out. Leaks Awakening, the Ni no Kuni. Then there's also a Demon Ex Machina. There's also the AI, the guy who made the 999, the Zero, and the Virtuous Last Reward. So I'm gonna talk about those, and also the hopefully before October the review of our paper in PLB will also come out. That would be nice, and hopefully it gets accepted eventually. And yeah, so see you next time in Postal Chronicles week number 67. This has been Postal Chronicles week number 66. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.